What's up, guys? My name's Riley. This is the VR podcast. So every week, I'm going to be bringing you guys some news articles that I get sent to me about virtual reality. The reason I want to do this is because, first of all, I need to start learning more about virtual reality. I myself just started a business where I'm going to be essentially renting out equipment for parties and events. And in order for me to even be able to have a conversation about it, I need to stay up on the topic. And doing this publicly for the benefit of others kind of adds some accountability to me to actually learn what I need to. So it's going to be very basic and kind of rudimentary at first as I learn what I'm doing. I have some people that are helping me out, but unfortunately they're not here right now. So I'm going to be doing what I can, but I will be talking about the news. And eventually later on, also be doing some reviews of games on the HTC Vive specifically. The ones available on Steam VR and Viveport. I think there's a lot of good ones on there, but I've played them a couple BS ones, and I don't like that you can't demo them before you have to pay money for them. So we'll get into that later. I want to talk about some pretty cool news that I just came across. I wonder if there's a way to share your screen. Please bear with me. Yes. Yeah, flip camera. I don't think I have the camera. Okay, this is just dead space. Eventually, I'll figure out how to share my screen. I really just wanted to get started with this video because I just kept putting it off because you can always find a reason for why you can't do what you're doing. I'll have the links down below to the articles that I'm talking about. So this one I found on bbcnews.com. The title is "Virtual Reality as Sharp as the Human Eye Can See." So let me just start off by talking about some of the problems with virtual reality right now. Well, there are two problems, right? The first one is within the headsets, and the aspect resolution is not where it can be. HTC Vive Enterprise is actually trying to solve this problem with HTC Vive is trying to solve this problem with their Enterprise Edition headset. Whether or not, I mean, personally, I haven't tried it. This, let's see. I think they said that their aspect ratio was 700% higher. Actually, no. So there's a company in, I think it's in Denmark. Okay, so it's a company in Finland. It's a startup named Barjo, Barjo. So they've developed a prototype VR headset with they're claiming let's see, I think they said 50 times sharper than most other headsets. Okay, so they put two pictures side by side here. I really wish I could show this instead of just having my stupid face here. And essentially, it's a picture of a cockpit from an airplane. And, I'm assuming this is a flight simulator. And what they did, it looks like they took a picture from the HTC Vive or from the Oculus Rift, the display picture generated there, and then they have a display picture generated by their equipment. And you can completely tell the difference. The one by the Varo headset looks like somebody went in and took a picture from like with like a really old camera. You know what I mean? Like it's not super clear, but you can like there's a picture of a map on the display screen in the cockpit. And you can see the shapes on the map pretty clearly. You can see the letters on the buttons on the keyboard in the cockpit. Whereas in the picture taken by the traditional headsets that are on the market right now, not only can you not see the map, you can see the map. You can't see the letters on the keyboard. You can't see the shapes on the map, and most of all, picture is extremely pixelated. So these guys developed a technique. Well, I don't know. It says, let me just give you a quote from here. This technique is known as foveated rendering within the industry. So essentially, what they did is it says Borrow's headset provides a very high definition image only of the objects our eyes are focusing on at that particular moment. So it looks like it uses some type of pupil tracking software, and which actually I think some of the newer gaming computers, and it looks like as you specifically look at these objects, they're the ones that are rendered. Here's the problem, though. All right, unless you want when you're unless you have between 5 and 10,000 euros, you're most likely not going to be using this technology. But the good thing is the HTC Vive Enterprise just opened their pre-orders. So I'm actually going to go to the website there. I want to give you guys some information. Not Enterprise, HTC Vive Pro. How many times have I said Enterprise? All right. So here's the Pro, and it looks like the Pro is also being kind of marketed as a professional grade headset. So they're selling the headset for $799. And this is just for the headset. Just the headset. Nothing else comes with it, no controllers, nothing. But the good thing is you don't have to worry about buying headphones or anything because they already are included. Okay, so here are the details in the update. PPI increase is 78% pixel. So I think that's I don't know where I was coming up with 700. Sorry to give you guys some bad information. So the HTC Vive Pro is available to pre-order on Amazon as well as the Vive website itself. I heard that they would be shipping them out in June. I'm not 100% sure on that. All right, let's migrate over to the next topic. So this is really cool. NASA embraces new developments in virtual reality technology. So essentially, what NASA is doing is, I think this article might be talking about how NASA is a little bit behind the ball. Um, well, I mean, it's behind the ball of VR technology, right? But so essentially, NASA used to be on the cutting edge of research, but it seems that the bureaucracy has gotten to the best of them. Now they kind of follow trend setters. So exactly, this is what the article is saying. It says NASA quickly latched onto the trend and has been working with it ever since. And with the advent of commercial VR technology from companies like Oculus, the space agency is making use of that comparatively cheaper. Man, I really wish I would have read this article before I told you guys about it because it's not really news. It's it's more like a press release. Um, hey, that happens a lot, right? How many times do you read a press release and share it as news? That's kind of the goal of whoever writes the press release, right? So this next article goes into more what I'm studying in virtual reality, and it's how virtual reality can affect your learning, how virtual reality can speed up the learning process, and not only that, but help us learn more effectively, like the material itself, with recallability and stuff like that. I I didn't mention it before, but I have mentioned I had I've read an article a couple months ago talking about how surgeons, people in surgical school, are now using VR to essentially do mock-up surgeries instead of watching movies how to do it, and instead of doing it on real cadavers. Um, so that article is about 6 months old, so it seems that we've been doing this for a while. But the point of the article was that when not only are these surgical students doing the surgery with the headsets on, but they also have EEGs connected to their heads. And when so they compared these to students who were learning without the EEG, learning how to do the surgery, and the not only was the location of where the brain stored that information different, um, the recall ability of those people who were actually doing surgery with the virtual reality headset on was substantially better. The reason for that is that because uh, can't get not that so I don't understand the brain as well as I would like to, um, but essentially your brain uses memory and spatial recognition, and those are two different activities that are done by two different parts of the brain. And the thing is, when you're learning how to do something from a presentation perspective, when like someone's getting up, standing in front of you, and just talking about it, and you're not really doing anything, you don't store the information in the spatial recognition part of the brain. It only goes into the part that just stores regular memories. So that's the main difference, and I think that's really groundbreaking realization. Personally, I hope to use that information in a little bit more well thought out, well documented way to kind of help disrupt our country's educational system. Anyways, I want to get back to. So I read this article last week. It was written from a small newspaper out in Tennessee, and they were talking about. Yeah, okay, all right, I got it. All right, so they were talking about a researcher at Vanderbilt that's doing his that's studying how virtual reality can assist those struggling with addiction to cope with their triggers and stressors. Um, so this researcher's name is hold on, I've actually been emailing him. Okay, so this researcher's name is Noah Robinson. He has a website at psychnoah.com. Psychnoah. He can also be found on all his social media handles at psychnoah. So essentially, what he's doing is he is pioneering, I guess you could say, the use of virtual reality to assist in um, addiction. You know, and he is a clinical psychology doctoral student at Vanderbilt University under Dr. Stephen Holland. Led a group of 10 research assistants as part of the Holland Research Group. And essentially, what he's doing is giving virtual reality headsets to people who suffer, who are like experiencing their addictions in real time and watching whatever they're experiencing. Not so, let's see. After 30 minutes, symptoms are going away. So what he's doing is essentially studying what he calls the VR smile, and that's, as you can kind of think, like as you, anyways, the V the VR smile is what happens to people after they take the headset off and they've been playing it for a little while. And he noticed that this VR smile doesn't really change about subgroups. It's pretty much the same across all demographics, and that's really good. He also led the development of PsychLab VR, a new virtual research center on the Steam App Store. I will be downloading that and exploring that as well. So he is collecting behavioral data with this app and survey response questions and using essentially big data learning to figure out the actual science behind why VR cheers you up. I think this is really important work that he's doing. This is why I'm featuring him on this show. Anyone who watches this. The use. First of all, let me just say that I think addicts and people suffering addiction in this country, the United States, I'm not really sure around the world. I know in Portugal they're doing better. A lot of progressive countries. I think it was Reagan that referred to addiction as the scourge of society. If it wasn't him, it was somebody, because it definitely wasn't me. I don't think that addicts have gotten a fair shake um, in this country at all, like ever. And I think it is high time that somebody starts doing something about that, And Noah's story is a really great story, and I would like for him to have a chance to come on and tell it himself. So I'm just going to focus on what he's doing. But it's amazing how it factors into the work that he's doing. It's really interesting how past experiences will factor into what you choose to do in the future. And yeah, I'm really excited that this work is being done. I yeah, I couldn't be more proud that somebody's out actually doing this. And to be a researcher at Vanderbilt University and doing this, that's pretty great, because it adds some credibility to what some people may think of as a niche topic for those that society already gave up on, or unnecessary research. I don't think it's unnecessary, and I think that given the opportunity, most people will do better for themselves and others. And I think that addicts are people who are suffering from addiction are usually the most sane people. The reason they're becoming addicted to these substances are because they're trying to escape from a reality that's created to kind of screw you. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I'm really excited about the work that he's doing. I'm really excited about virtual reality in general. I'm excited about the use of the technology and the doors that this is opening. Yeah. So, anyways, this has been the VR podcast. Next time, I will do my best to have what I'm looking at up on the screen. Broad topic. Maybe you guys don't know. Anyways, my name is Riley, and thanks for watching.